All right, for the seated good morning, my preferred piece of equipment for this exercise is a kettlebell, but if you don't have a huge selection of kettlebells, dumbbells or a barbell are great options as well. What you're gonna do is grab that kettlebell in an upside down position so that the bell is at the top, and then you're gonna place that weight behind your head. You can rest some of that weight on the top of your shoulders, but your hands are still holding the majority of that weight. Once you're there, you're gonna set yourself in a nice squat position. So I don't wanna just sit here in a nice relaxed position. I wanna try and lift my tailbone just a little bit. So I'm sitting on my sits bones. And then I also wanna set my feet a little bit wider than a typical squat. A squat, I would bring them in a little bit, but here I'm pointing my toes out on about a 45-degree angle. Once I'm in the starting position, I'm gonna take a nice big deep breath in, brace my abs so that my core stays nice and tight and back stays nice and flat. Try to get all the way to that bottom position of the bench and then come back up to the top. Now, if you're trying along with me, you may have noticed that getting all the way down to that bench and then coming back up to the top can prove quite difficult. With this exercise, a bench is the preferred equipment, but if you have an adjustable bench, you have a little bit of a better option here. So what I can do is adjust that bench up to be at about a 45 or a 30-degree angle. And what I can do is now work myself into a slightly more comfortable range of motion. If I'm using a dumbbell, I can just hold either side of it and rack it just the same. But now that my bench is adjusted, I can work a range of motion that may suit me a little bit better, especially if that flat bench proved quite difficult. And now I can start adding a little bit of weight to this movement and start feeling some good tension going through the outsides of my hips. I can feel my glutes really firing up hard, but you're also gonna feel your lower back muscles working a little bit as well. This is a great exercise for helping strengthen those lower back muscles, especially with movements like a deadlift or a squat, where we can sometimes lose a little bit of lower back control. Now, with an adjustable bench, if I have a couple more adjustment points, as I get used to that slightly shorter range of motion, I can lower that bench down even a little bit further, but still not all the way flat, and try to push myself to go a little bit deeper into that range of motion before coming back up to the top. Now, a way that I use to know that I'm keeping my back flat, because it's really impossible to tell unless you have a crazy mirror set up, is I really want to aim to touch just the top of my belly to that bench. And if I'm touching the top of my belly and not my forehead, if I'm touching my head to the bench, my back can be round, which we do want to try to avoid a little bit. So if you can keep that belly out to touch the bench first, that is how you can be sure that you're keeping that back in a little bit of a better position. Again, if you struggle to keep that back flat, just bring that bench a little bit closer to you. If you don't have an adjustable bench, yoga blocks are another great option to bring that contact point a little bit closer to you so you can work this exercise with a safer range of motion.